It's a Mini Countryman Cooper D 2017 model. This car was known as a British icon when it was delivered, launched in the 1960s. So we're going to be reviewing this today, giving you the tour of the interior as well as the exterior. So please don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram to get these types of cars reviewed and viewed by you guys. That will be uploaded on YouTube very soon. Thanks, guys. Right guys, we'll start off by talking about the boot of the car. Now this particular car, it's 450 litres, which is quite, it's got a big size for this type of car. I mean, as you can see, it's a nice square shape, it's quite deep, and we have fitted a few stuff in here just to show you guys, how much stuff you can put in here. But overall, it's a nice square shape. I think it is sort of larger than a Volkswagen Golf and an Audi Q2, which is this car's main rivals. But from what I can see here, it's nice and deep. You can fit quite a lot of stuff in here, so shopping bags, prams and baby stuff in here can go nicely in here, so you should not have any issues as well. This also has this partial shelf here, which you can always take it off by these from disconnected from that, there and there. It's really to take off and to put back on again, so that's really helpful. Obviously this car doesn't have an electronic boot, so you have to close it manually like so. When you do close, obviously you see the Countryman writing over here, which is really stands out. It's the Cooper D model, as I said earlier. This car also has parking sensors, 1, 2, 3, 4, which aim to help you, obviously park the car. Because I mean, it is a Mini. I'm not sure if you can call it a Mini because it's quite a big car, and certainly so this Countryman model is the largest model of the Mini range. So but overall, it's a nice car. It's a nice family car. So what we're gonna, if you want to follow me, guys. So we're gonna come down here, and obviously this car. So this is on the 18 in alloy rims. Obviously it's nice and big and nice and chunky. One other thing, so this car also has silver door handles over here and over here. You do also the chrome continues down here as well, as you can see out there. And also there is a sort of a silver detailing design over here, which is also good, because what you have, guys, the car color is green. You have silver chrome on the handles and bottom, and you have black rims in the back wheel, so it has that that difference in color, which is good, which is not a bad thing. And obviously this car also has the rails on the roof, for if you're making these long journeys, you can always fit your luggage if you do need so that's great to have. This car also for the side windows, it has they're black. Obviously they're not green, so again that mixture of color, that sportiness still continues. The Mini logo here in this air vent, again black sportiness, that's quite good as well. If you want to come down here, guys, now the front of the car itself, it has a really sort of a happy look in this car, which I like. I mean, it doesn't have any sort of lines or creases to the extra sportiness, which is not a bad thing. You don't really need it, but again, you've got chromeness over here. Metal chromeness over here, which is nice as well. These vents, black, and low down here, a bit more sportiness down here. These massive grills here, the headlights here. There we go, the headlights there. Also, as I said, the colour of the car is green. It's a nice green. I do really like it. Suits the car very much. Obviously the big Mini badge over there, that's really good. This car, the headlights over here, I don't think it has the daytime running lights. LEDs, but they are really chunky, they're really big, so it does suit the car in terms of the overall appearance and look, which is great. Right guys, we're in the car now, so my first impressions of the interior quality and design, so I'll start with design first. So design is it's different, it's funky, but at the same time it's a bit sort of decisive. So what I mean by that, so normally you have your so design sort of a swooping effect, but this, the main thing when you sit in the car you see is this dial here, so this circular dial here, which but overall design is different. I do like it. It's a bit different to normal cars. I mean, first of all, these handles, door handles are different. I mean, they're not like that. They're circular shape. Everything is circle in this car. Circle, obviously circle. I mean, a circle. There's a lot of circle stuff here, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. I do like these buttons here. These buttons here that sort of go up and down. Obviously the stop and start button is this here, which normally you would expect it to find here for the stop and start button here, or if it's not a button, it's keyless here or down here. But in the Mini, it's there, which is different. Yeah, but as I said, it's funky, but so I do like that. It's a really nice red button there, so that's really nice. So I do like that. So in terms of quality, so this there's not quite a lot of plastics apart from here. This all plastic here, but there's soft touch here, soft here, leather here, obviously the seats are leather. So this car also has a pop-up display over here, so when you turn the car on, a pop-up display comes up here to show your speed and everything, which is quite cool here. So that's nice to have. But the overall quality and design of this car, it's good. I do really like it. It's different. It's funky. So yet decisive, but it is good. I do really like it. Right, guys. So the engine and transmission of this car. So this particular car is a 2-liter diesel manual. It's a 6-speed manual. In terms of power, so it's 149 brake horsepower. Top speed of 129 miles per hour. 0 to 60, so it will get 0 to 60 in around 9 seconds. So that's pretty good. So in terms of engine wise, guys, this car will, Mini say, so it will return 65 miles per gallon, but in the real world, you probably get average around 45, which is not bad because this is, engine wise, it is quite powerful. It's quite strong because it's a 2-liter, but at the same time it is economical because it's diesel. Right, guys, the seats itself, as I said, so the seats are made out of leather. It's a really nice soft leather. It feels really comfortable. It's not I wouldn't say it's that sporty. It's not that sporty because you don't really sit low in the car. It's quite high in the car, which is not a bad thing. But it's quite stuffy, and it does have these pillars here on the sides, which just kind of hold you in, which is nice to have. So I do really like them. So the seats are adjustable for obviously going forward and backwards, which is nice to have. They're not electric, nor for the driver or the passenger. They're adjustable at the sides, which is normal, which is great. Now on the steering wheel, guys, I do like the steering wheel. It's leather, made out of leather. It has these sports grips down here, which is nice to have. And also one thing I do like about this car is when you go for reach and height, when you go for up and down, it's sort of connected to an actual speedometer over here, so they both go down at the same time. Can you see that? That's really cool to have, but for reach it isn't. But for height it is, so which is quite cool to have. As I said, it is quite chunky. Has sports grips down here. Obviously the glossness that I mentioned earlier continues down here. The big Mini logo here, that's nice as well. This chrome effect here, it's not it's made out of I believe plastic, black, which is nice as well. I do really like that. And also there's no contrast station, guys. It's black, which is not bad to have. On the right hand side, guys, you have all your volume controls for your telephone and speaker and all that, and on your left hand side you have your controls for your cruise control, speed limiter, and also controlling your speedometer and also your rev system down here, which is quite cool to have. On the right hand side, guys, you have your indicator controls. On your left hand side you have automatic controls for your fog lights, a rear defrost, and front, and so all the buttons for your fog lights are also down here, guys. They're fully automatic, so it's really nice to use this car. There's no complication. It's really easy. So that I like. The controls for all the windows, guys, are all automatic. They're controlled down here, and so the buttons as well, they're made out of chrome, so aluminium chrome. So it's nice touch. It feels like quality feel. Has a quality feel in it. I do really like that. Again, door handles, as I said, they are different in circles. You pull them out like this, rather than the normal ways that you have. Again, aluminium chrome used here. Big buttons, for locking, unlocking. That's really nice to have. And so again, for the quality, there's gloss, black gloss that continues down here. Big speakers down here, big air vents here, air vent there, and there. They're nice and big, nice and chunky, so it's really easy to move them around. I do really like that. So the speedometer, guys. Now this bottom, so the speedometer in the rear counter is really traditional. It's sort of traditional to the Mini way of doing things. The charm that it has, which is not a bad thing, but so you can see your so your speedometer, your rev counter is nice and big, it's nice and chunky. So it is partially connected to the steering wheel itself, which I showed you guys earlier. There's a mini sort of a trip computer down at the bottom to show your mileage and all that. But as I said, there's nothing really special around this area here. In terms of this car's features, as I said, so this is so the model that we have is the Countryman Cooper D. This car also gets heated seats for driver and passenger, which is down here. 3 modes, and also obviously so your AC rear defrost, all controlled here. These big dials for the temperature controls are really easy. They're nice and chunky, nice and big. Obviously the aluminium chrome so continues here. And so dials, the dial actually itself, this turning wheel here is made out of rubber. So nice, has a nice solid quality feel to it. I do really like it. It's nice and chunky, nice and easy to use. And also these buttons here for traction control, anti-slip, ABS, everything like that. They're all down here. It's really easy to use. Obviously the buttons here made out of aluminium. This is plastic, but they're nice and chunky. They're nice and easy to use. So I do really like that. Also, this car also has the electronic parking brake, which is over here. So your driving modes, which your multimedia, which is controlled by here, which we'll talk about later. But overall, the climate controls, the heated seats, everything like that, they're really easy to use. It's really really simple. Car infotainment system is concerned. So what you have a nice 7-inch 67-inch screen here. I mean, it's not touchscreen, but this is your multimedia system. So it's controlled via here, the swivel wheel here, down here. It's made out of chrome plastic, so it's nice and a nice quality feel. I do really like that. You have physical buttons as well for back option, navi, intel, telephone, menu, media, radio, electronic parking brake, as I mentioned earlier, manual gear. But it's not touchscreen, but the colors are nice and bright. They're nice and clear. You can control everything, your settings, navigation, mini connect, telephone, multimedia, everything is controlled here. It's nice and easy. Now, as I said, so Mini is owned, guys. Mini is owned, built by BMW. So most of the multimedia system is going to be similar to BMW's iDrive, and BMW's iDrive is a really good system. It's a really easy system, and equally, this is really easy to use. I found that out. So that's really nice, guys. Now, one cool thing that I do like about this, guys, is when you switch between modes, this center color changes. I don't know if you realized. So it goes green. It goes, so when you go to settings on Navi, and when you select it, changes. Can you see that it went green? So if you go back and if you change the color to radio, the color goes orange. So that's really cool to have. That's really nice to have. I do really like that. It's a really cool feature. That's really nice to have. So again, for your radio buttons, they're all down here. You have six modes that you can set it. Volume button down here is really easy to use. So your different modes as well. Have it down here. That's really nice to have. Now, with this in terms of connectivity, this car does not have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but you can connect it via Bluetooth to listen to music and your telephone. And obviously, so your telephone mic and speaker down here, which we'll talk about later. But overall, so the system is really easy. It's really nice to use. Right, guys. And so with storage in this car, so the driver's door, so there's quite a lot of storage down here, and so you can fit in. It's quite large. You can fit in, your water bottles, wipers for your windows, and all that. It's really large. You can fit quite a lot of stuff in here. It's really nice to have. So down here, guys, you have this extra storage down here to fit, your mobile phone or something. It's quite deep. You have 2 cup holders here, which is really nice to have. I do really like that. And so on the arms, you have a bit of storage here. You can fit in, maybe your hand sanitizers, a few books and stuff, paperwork, which is nice. And when you lift it up, you have more storage down here, which is quite deep in here. So fit in a lot more stuff in here should you need to do so. So the glove box here, guys, again, it's quite deep. It's quite a square shape. So you can't fit in a few stuff. We have put in a few stuff in there just to show you guys where you can fit in. Right, guys. So what this car, as far as the upper area is concerned, so obviously here you have your your telephone mic and speaker down here. This car also has, as part of the upgrade, it has 2 glass roofs, one here and one for the rear passenger, and this adds in a lot more natural light in the car. So this car is really, it's not dark. You do not feel claustrophobic in the car. There's more buttons here for the lights. You put this one, it turns all of them on. You can turn it on individually, turn it off individually, and you press it or turn off all at once. So that's really nice. I do really like that. The rear view mirror, it's not that big and it's not a square shape, nor it is frameless, but you can see your back. Now the back roof design is not sloped. It's a nice square shape, so you can see quite well from the back. All the cars via rear view mirror. So that's really nice to have. I do really like that. So one of the things that's probably a downside to this car, guys, is these pillars here. They're quite big, they're quite massive, so this can create a blind spot. For drivers. Right, guys, in the back now. So this seat is in my normal driving position, and as you can see, I'm 5'9". I have a lot of leg room, obviously a lot of headroom as well. So bearing in mind that this car does have the glass roof, it does need a headspace, but then again, I still have a lot of headroom. So if you're more than 5'9", around 6 foot, it should be okay. If you're more than 6 foot, you may struggle. But as far as I'm concerned, I have a lot of legroom here. It's really comfy. It's really quite high in the car, guys. Obviously having these sort of nice big windows, it doesn't feel sort of dark. Having this, a lot of natural light coming from here and from there, that's when I do really like that. So the design, obviously, those chrome silver round handles, door handles continue here as well with the chrome effects. So that's a nice detail I do really like. The speakers here, the black gloss continues down here, soft touch. This is leather, I do really like this. So the electric windows, the buttons here is made out of aluminium chrome. That's really nice quality feel. So storage the storage down here, guys, for your water bottles for your kids. So again, that's nice. This car also has these pockets here for your kids' tablets or magazine if you want to put them here. That's a nice feature. I do really like that. There's storage here as well, guys, so you want to put maybe a phone or something. This car does not have, I cannot see any any air vents controls for the rear passenger, which is maybe a downside to this car, but overall in terms of capacity it should be okay. Now this car is not automatic, but it's a manual, but it does have the transmission tunnel, so anyone sitting in this seat should be okay. Let me just show you guys. There we go. It's okay. It's quite high. The seat's quite hard, but overall, it should be okay. For 2 people, 2 adults, so this car should be good. Obviously, if you have 2 kids and you have 2 car seats, it should be okay. But for 3 people, you may struggle. Because the car's not that wide, for 4 people with 2 at the back, it should be okay. Now this car also has ISOFIX connections here, guys. They're down here, just flip up. There we go. It's nice and easy. They don't come off, so they will not get lost. I do really like this sort of feature. It's really easy. They're dead easy to use. I do really like that. That's really nice. Obviously, the seats are really nice. They're really comfortable, made out of leather. It has this stitching, sort of a diamond effect here as well. That's really nice. I do really like that. This car, I don't think this car does have an armrest, which again is a shame. Because this car starts from 23,000, and so it can go up, depending on the optional extras. So it's quite expensive, and considering it doesn't have certain things at the back, is quite a shame as well. But overall, in terms of capacity, the back, guys, is quite high. You sit quite freely in the car. It's not cramped. For families, and so especially for kids, they're not going to feel claustrophobic or in darkness in here, because there's a lot of natural light in this car, so it makes the car look really bright and really lively. So that I really like. That's really cool to have, guys. Right, guys, what do I think of this car? It's a really nice car. It's a small SUV, yet you still sit quite high in the car. So it's spacious, as there's a lot of natural light in the car. So okay, you may struggle to fit 3 adults in the back, but it'll be good for 2 kids at the back with car seats. The engine's really economical. It's a 6-speed manual. Whether you're living in the city or whether you're driving on the motorway and the highway, this engine will be sufficient for you. So I hope you like this video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram to get more of these cars reviewed and viewed very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks very much.